I just want to apologize to the posse, to Mark, and to Dustin, and Will, and Matt. I'm so very sorry. I'm sorry to everyone. I was naive. I was so naive. I'm so sorry because he's our kicker, and I insisted that he would be a good kicker. And this is where we end up with a bad kicker on our football team and losing games and out of the playoffs. I'm so sorry. I love you guys. I love the 12s. What is that? What is that? What is that?
Dad, what are you doing?
Oh, hi, Mosette. Nothing. Why?
They signed another kicker. Get out here.
Oh, thank God.
And now, it's time for another episode of the 12-Man Fan Jam Show. A show made by 12s from around the world, for 12s around the world. I'm Mosette, and here's your host and my dad, the self-appointed Reverend Moses of the St. Paul Island Church of Seahawk Positivity.
Yes, thank you, Mosette, and welcome to episode 526, the season-ending edition of your 12-Man Fan Jam Show as your Seattle Seahawks get ready to take on, well, the offseason. And what can I tell you? Another 30 feet to the right, we may be in the playoffs. Anyway, we have quite a loaded group.
But not really.
Posse is full and ready to go for this episode. First, from merry old England, it is the yin to my yang. It is Matt. Hi, Matt.
Good morning, Moses. How are you?
Fantastic, sir. How are you?
Well, I'm full of the fire and the fury, ready for off-season.
Following the fury and ready for off-season. All right. Hey, look who's back. It's Will. Hi, Will.
Hi, Moses.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Actually, it's been kind of a rough week. I asked Eddie Lacy to give me a lift home, and I only got about 3 feet.
Love it.
Wow. All right. Oh, and look, there's Dustin. Hi, Dustin.
Hey, what's going on?
How are you, Dustin?
I'm good. You guys are interrupting my words with friends, but I'm doing well.
At least you're not using the Google. All right.
Not yet. Trivia's not yet.
And then from California, Stats Man Mark. Hi, Mark.
Hey, Dennis, how you doing?
Fantastic, sir. How about yourself?
Well, I suspended my Streets of San Francisco marathon to be on the show.
Nice.
I think I knew Mike would understand that.
And Carl
Right.
Malden.
Carl, you buddy boy. Anyway, and the other news is Chucky is back, and
Yes.
oh wow, this is like a bad summer sequel. 10-year contract, 10 years of Chucky.
100 million.
Unbelievable.
100 million. It's
Unbelievable.
Chucky got lucky.
Chucky moving on up.
And he's still gonna sucky.
And there's the professional writer with the headline right there by Willie, because I mean, what a deal! I mean, he's coming back. They're going to Vegas. I mean, this is just this is just like any bad summer sequel you can think of. Just coming
really
up,
is.
You know, it's
It
just
really
going to be
is.
awesome. So.
Well, one great summer sequel we have is in the guest chair, and joining us once again, artist of the fantastic Game Buzz comics and so much more.
Yes.
From California, a great 12 and a great friend from California. It's Mike Pascal. Hey! Welcome on the show again, buddy. How are you?
I'm okay, although I did learn something at the game that I should never, ever sit on the side of the visiting team. It was the fourth game. All three of the previous ones, we won when I sat on the Seahawks side. This one time, I decided to sit on the other side, and we lost. So my apologies. Yep.
I am so sorry for that. But we'll talk more about that second quarter, I'm sure, because you went to the game obviously, and you sat on the wrong side. But we'll have to get you on the other side next time. But gentlemen, wow, what a huge action-packed show we got ahead of us. So let's get to it, shall we? Michael Bolton.
Boys, let's get to it.
Yes, let's get to it. The show is run like a real NFL football game. 4 quarters and halftime. Quarter 1 will set us up with the news. Quarter 2, we will go over that Cardinals game, unfortunately. Halftime is the best Seahawk theme to play along trivia game on the internet. It is 12-Man Fan Jam Show halftime trivia.
The world.
Mark is the returning champ.
Can you just say that again? Because the enormity of this situation has not been understood.
Somebody was talking about signs of the apocalypse.
I know it. Through the Make-A-Wish Foundation dash, I was granted one last one.
Yeah, I think this is the sign of the apocalypse because you've got Mark winning trivia, you've got the US now freezing below -17 in places, you've got Chucky coming back for 100 million for 10 years, the whole universe, and now Mike and Michael are on the same show together. So the next thing, the gates of hell will open.
No,
well,
how Michigan, I'm sure, for Walsh to make a game-winning field goal.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, and by the way, speaking of Walsh, if you do say Blair Walsh tonight, you're going to get this. All night, as much as I can remember.
You know that song has come on before for him, too, after a game. He's just like, oh, my God.
Thank you, Beyonce, or as I like to call her, Beyonce. All right. Oh, there's more. Quarter 3, the Fan Jamming nominations. Our 5th annual Fan Jamming nominations. Our next show after this one will be the weekend after the Super Bowl, and it's our season finale for the 5th season, and we always have our award show. That's always a good time. We're going to go through the nominations third quarter. Player of the year, defensive player of the year, offensive player of the year, touchdown of the year, and game of the year. So that's something to look forward to. And always a couple extra surprises in there as well that I don't talk about until the show. And then, of course, quarter 4, our favorite 2017 memory as we close the door on a 2017 Seattle Seahawks season where they went 9-7 and did not make the playoffs. But before we start, please like, share, subscribe to the Seahawk Positivity YouTube channel. Join our Facebook group, 12-Man Fan Jam Show. A lot of fun on there. We do we do a game day thread, but we won't for a while now. But we'll have some other fun things on there. I'm going to try to put some caption the pictures on there and keep it light and happy in the off season. We're also on Twitter, Seahawk Positivity, and email 12manfanjamshow@gmail.com. Let us know what you think. All right, let's get to the first quarter in news. Yes, news from around the NFL with our news hound, Will. It's the 12-Man Fan Jam Show news report brought to you by this week's sponsor, the Blair Walsh kicking goalpost, made wider to the left. Will, what you got for us?
Well, Moses, I have my favorite news story of the year, and quite frankly, it's not even close. Because, you see, the Cleveland Browns did something that only one other NFL team has done before, go 0-16, which is, in a way, a perfect season. So they've decided to commemorate it this Saturday by having a parade to celebrate.
Oh, that's
awesome.
That's amazing.
Is it in Detroit?
No, actually.
Is it in Detroit?
But I wonder if members of the 2008 Detroit Lions are popping champagne like the 72 Dolphins do. But let me give you some details about this parade because it's truly awesome. The parade route actually goes in a circle around Cleveland's First Energy Stadium. So the parade route itself is a 0.
Yes.
The temperature on Saturday is expected to be around 0.
Yes!
And 2 of the sponsors of this parade are Excedrin, which is appropriate, and FarmersOnly.com.
Oh, so you don't have to be lonely.
I thought you were going to say Coke Zero.
No, but that would be perfect too. But Farmers Only, they're people that are used to dealing with crap, so.
Oh,
You know,
that is
we
awesome.
laugh, but if I were a Cleveland Brown fan in Cleveland and I hadn't already surrendered to despair, I would absolutely be at this parade.
Oh my
Because
gosh,
why the
yes.
hell not?
Perfect.
Oh, God bless them. That's
See,
fantastic.
the thing is, as the only British person on the panel, I can tell you now, as the underdog champion, that's who Britain always loves. That is exactly the right thing to do. If the world gives you lemons, make lemonade, and nobody will turn up to drink it. Exactly what's gonna happen.
Dustin, are you going to that parade?
Absolutely, yeah. I
right.
think it'd be fun.
That sounds like a good time. I will expect a report from you from the Cleveland Zero Parade. That's fantastic. Cats off to the Cleveland Brown fans too, because those are fans right there. I mean, we went through most of us. We all went through 2 and 14, so we can kind of sympathize a little bit.
Can you imagine the celebrations? What happens when they finally do win their first game?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Dennis, I found out the Browns are the only team to sell rubber dog shit directly from the NFL Pro Shop on the premises.
But are they flying a cargo plane full of it from Hong Kong? Top Gun reference.
I know, huh?
Nice. Oh God, Will, I don't know how you could possibly top that.
Well, I can't, but I got to do 2 of these anyway. So, so I figure I'll focus on the Tennessee Titans, who are one of those playoff teams who everybody just expects to make a quick exit, but they're making their time memorable through the media at least. Titans defensive lineman Jarrell Casey has said on the radio today, this past week, talking about the Jacksonville Jaguars, quote, "As long as Bortles is back there, if the ball game is in his hands, he's going to choke." As you know, they beat the Jaguars this past week, and of that game, Casey said, "We didn't want their offense to score at all, and it looks like that's what happened. Sorry, at the beginning of the week, I was talking about that. King of the South? Sounds great, but got to be able to beat us. Jacksonville didn't play great today. Appreciate the turnovers. Helped us out a lot. But wait, there's more." Delaney Walker talking about Marcus Mariota's performance this past week. Quote, "Sometimes you've got to play backyard football. Sometimes you've got to overcome coaching." And I think that's what makes some players great. So you got one member of the Titans calling out their division rivals and another member of the Titans calling out their own coach. So this team may not be in the playoffs long, but they're making the most of it.
Well,
wow. I always thought it was the bickering Bills.
Salty.
Oh.
Yeah.
After hearing that, Willie, I'm just glad I teased up the Titans to plus 15 for the game. And
there you go.
So,
Man.
got 2 touchdowns. So.
There's a little bickering going on there, Mike, isn't there?
Yeah. I don't even. And you know what? I don't even know who their coach is.
Mike Mularkey.
Oh, well, that's a bunch of malarkey.
At least
right
for the
there.
next.
Malarkey! That's what that is. Oh.
Wow.
God.
The gags just write themselves.
They do. They actually do. Dustin, you think they get to the Super Bowl, they're still going to complain about coaching?
No. I mean, they're going to buy tickets and go watch it probably. That's the only way they're going to get there. But you'd think they'd be in a better mood. At least they're in the playoffs. So I don't understand what all the bitching's about. That's crazy.
Yeah. That's crazy, man. Wow. I guess to each his own. I guess however you get ready for a game is how you get ready for a game, right?
Yeah.
Well,
we don't have that experience this week, so.
Hey, if it works for them this week, they need to bitch some more.
That's right, because
No
obviously,
doubt.
we didn't enough, right? Or we didn't do something enough. I guess we'll figure that out in the next quarter. Speaking of which, thank you, Will, for the wonderful news.
Anytime, Moses.
And that'll be the end of the first quarter.
It's the end of the first quarter, bitches.
All right, coming up on this special regular season ending edition of your 12-Man Fan Jam Show, halftime trivia, our favorite memory from 2017. But first, it's going over the season-ending loss to the Cardinals. Right after this.
You're listening to the 12-Man Fan Jam Show on the Seahawk Positivity YouTube channel.
Alrighty then.
Holy shit, it's the second quarter.
Welcome to the second quarter of episode 526 of your 12-Man Fan Jam show. It is the second quarter, and unfortunately, as we always do, it's time to look back at the game from last week. In this case, the Seahawks losing to the Cardinals in the final game by a score 26-24. Mike Pascal, our guest. Mike, you were there at the game. You want to describe your experience at the game Sunday?
Sure. The 12s were out in full force. I'm happy to say there was very few Arizona fans in the audience, of course.
In the world. Yeah.
In
the world. Yeah.
Almost as little as there were Cleveland Brown wins in the last 2 seasons.
Oh,
but
nice.
The three things stood out for me. Number one, when you go the entire first quarter and your total yards of offense is 0 and your total rushing yards are -5,
Yikes.
not a good way to win a game.
Not looking good, no.
You might be a bevel.
Yeah.
You might be a
bevel. I like that.
Wow.
The defense really turned it around in the second half. The interception and all the other stuff was great. Lockett's run helped keep everything alive. Mm-hmm. And then the other thing that was really curious, I kept yelling, as I have for the last 4 weeks, that they should do some designed runs with Russ. Yeah. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they did at least 2 in that game. One went for like 9 yards, one went for about 20.
Mm-hmm. And they had a couple.
Yeah, I don't know why they don't do that more often unless they're just afraid of him getting hurt. Because I just think it works.
Well, and he always slides, so he's smart enough to take, 7 or 8 yards and sit down.
Right. Yeah, he's not a Cam Newton. He won't jump head first.
But if he takes just one knock and is out of the game, we're screwed.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
80% of the offense.
Well, you know what I missed?
He's probably safer running the ball than he is in the pocket anyway. Just to
I'm
being serious because if he's running the ball, he knows where he's going and he's got an idea of what's coming and he can prepare for it. If he's in the pocket, somebody comes up and hits him from the blind side. That's
a good point, Will. That's a really good point. Yeah.
He's the best running back we have.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Not a high bar to clear.
Wow.
No, it's not. I'm sorry, all the way from California, it's kind of a bummer. I know what it's like to fly in and not have that win, which you kind of think, oh, great, I spent all this time to come up here and they won't do me the courtesy of winning in front of me. What's wrong with them? But I'm glad you got to go to the game. And
that's okay because I got to go to the Mopop Museum and look at the 50th anniversary of Star Trek exhibit. So.
Cool.
Yeah, see? Not a total loss.
I got to boldly go where no 12 has gone before.
Nice.
Very nice. Will, your experience in the game?
Well, it just pretty much was everything that we've come to expect from the season. We get off to an abysmally slow start. We give up a huge lead early. We have a few brilliant plays that just give us enough hope before dashing it completely. We have a ferocious comeback in the second, and Blair Walsh missed a kick. It's pretty much like most of the other games we've been to before. But I like that they're still fighting back. I'm glad that they didn't pull themselves into a hole after they were down 20-7 and really should have been 20-0. Thank you, Tyler Lockett. It was good to see. Shaquille Griffin get his first pick. The guy's been working so hard this year, and he deserved it. Mm-hmm. And I tell you, I spent the entire fourth quarter staring at my phone, watching the score of the Panthers-Falcons game, and watching Cam Newton piss that game away. And I'm just glad at the way things turned out. I'm glad that the Falcons won that game because if Carolina had won and we'd had a chance to go into the playoffs, if we had just made that kick and had missed that kick, it would have been so much worse.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah. To talk about your slow start, a couple things. They were tied or behind at halftime 12 out of the 16 games.
That few?
There's more. Our friend Seahawk Sal had this courtesy of someone called Reno Fox, but apparently these are our first half scores for the season. Are you ready?
Sorry.
Here we go. 3, 6, 7, 3, 7, 3, 14, 0, 13, 17, 7, 10, 0, 0, 7.
Wow.
How many zeros was that?
Moses.
4 or 5?
Moses, I've got a stat for you also.
Yes, do tell.
Seattle ran the ball 23 times inside the 10-yard line.
Yes.
For a grand total of 0 yards.
Running back that wasn't Russell Wilson, right?
Well, Wilson ran it 3 times for 3 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Okay.
Every other Seahawk ran it 20 times for negative 3 yards and no touchdowns.
Yeah.
But that highlights a little bit just how good Russell Wilson is, because we were still in a playoff contention spot. With all of those figures, you've just said there, we were almost there. I mean, that's ridiculous.
A great point, because we said, as long as you've got number 3, you're in the game. And we learned that this year the hard way. And our defense played well. And we'll talk more about this, I'm sure, in the fourth quarter when we wrap up the season. But, I thought our defense certainly played well enough in the season to be a playoff team. Even with what they missed as far as players and personnel. But like you said, exactly, that shows what kind of guy we have in Russell Wilson. And no matter how these numbers look, we were still very close with them making the playoffs, and 9-7. Most teams would have been 4-12. So that's a great point. Great point. Dustin?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on this game?
It sucked.
Yeah, okay.
It was
brevity is the soul of wit.
Yeah, I don't know. For the most part, it was just frustrating to watch. Then I think Will pretty much nailed it. I mean, it was basically kind of a microcosm of the entire season. Mm-hmm. Everything that we were accustomed to seeing during the season happened in that game. Like, damn near everything.
Yeah.
So it was rough, but they had a chance to win at the end, so that's always good. But yeah,
it seems to me that this team this year was missing that fun, that excitement, that enthusiasm.
Oh, you mean they weren't winning?
The passion, just the passion that they always had, especially for games like this. You think back over the last 4 or 5 years when there's been a tough game, there's been a game that people have said, here's a really good test for the Seahawks. They would not only win that game, they'd blow the other team out.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of emotion at all.
You go into this Cardinals game where they know they've got to win, and they look for 3 quarters flat and lifeless.
Yeah, they looked like they gave up for a little while there in the first half. It was real frustrating. There was not a spark. You didn't see anybody getting feisty, getting up and, showing some emotion. You didn't see any of that. They're just used to this now. That's just how it is.
And the Atlanta game is a great example, because that was a game that everyone knew, hey, it's Monday night. It's national television. It's a big game, and we knew the ramifications of that game at the time, and they just looked flat.
Yeah.
They looked flat. They didn't have that urgency or that excitement or just that extra oomph that we're used to seeing. In fact, the only time I really saw that.
User in your channel timed out.
The only time I saw that was when what game was it? I want to say it was Houston.
That's what I was thinking of. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they back and forth that game. That was a fun game to watch. That was entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was about the only one.
Seattle, it's weird. After all the years of having such a powerful home field advantage, they lost 4 out of their last 5 home games this year.
4 and 4 at home.
4 and 4 at home.
Unbelievable.
And oddly enough, the one home game they won in that stretch was against the number 1 seed in the conference. Go figure.
Yeah.
No, it makes no sense at all.
Yeah, the whole season made no sense. So in a way, you're right. This Cardinal game was in a lot of ways, kind of a microcosm of the whole thing. I mean, the whole season, really.
But we shouldn't have. But again, we shouldn't have allowed ourselves to get a playoff position, if you like. Put it in somebody else's hands,
right.
Otherwise known as Cam Newton. That shouldn't have happened.
Right.
And to lose against the Redskins. To lose. Yes. I mean, there's other games in our season that we should have taken care of business on. And maybe that's where more of the blame rests rather than this game. This game, I think, was it felt dead and buried from the first half onwards. It just felt as if they, as you say, there was an uphill struggle. They didn't seem to want to be out there, to be honest.
They didn't.
And that's disheartening. But at the same time, I suppose if you look at the season, if you look at the players that are out, if you look at the, but I was surprised because Bruce Arians, was talking mega trash the week before, and I thought that we were going to come out and really smack him squarely in the face.
I did too.
And what was his press conferencing afterwards? What did he say?
Welcome to my house.
What a douchey thing to say. I want
Oh, well, he
punch
was
him
0
straight
4
in the
1
throat.
against us in his house, so whatever.
Yeah, but
Like that point
there
out.
wasn't the passion. The passion didn't seem to be there.
No.
The accuracy was a bit off. But we were still within a shout. But what happens is we have a broken kicker.
Well, and I think we've become that
Among
team,
other
and this is
problems.
what I don't want to get too much on this now, but we've become that team that was a really great team that I think has just fallen to be a really good team, and that's still a Super Bowl contender. That's still a team that can win a playoff game. That's still a team that can win division. We've gone from like an A to a B, but some people act like we've gone from an A to an F. No, we were such an A plus that when we fell, seemed unreal. Oh my gosh! But I still think we're a very good team. We're a good team. We're a really good team, but we're just not that elite, blow everybody out and roll through the season team.
We're kind of like the 2007 Seahawks. It's just had a good run. It's coming to an end. Just good enough to maybe get into the playoffs and get shelled once we were there.
Yeah.
So let's do the overhaul this year instead of waiting for the bad season next year.
Amen. Well, speaking of overhauls, we have our.
So you're saying we're bringing Jim Mora back?
No!
No.
Okay.
Oh my God, no.
Guess I misunderstood.
No, I want to do something that works this time.
Good call.
Jim is not. Let me repeat. Jim is not the answer. Okay. All right. As we usually end the season, we usually end it with a caption that picture. So let's do a caption that picture. All right. Caption that picture this time is a very sad picture of our quarterback, Russell Wilson. Oh, so sad. Zorny, do you have a caption for that picture?
I do. It's not laughter, but okay, so caption that picture. Dear God, please reveal yourself through an offensive line that will protect me the way you do, Lord.
Wow.
Deep.
Oh my God. All right. Let's see here. We did Zorny. Let's do Matt. Matt, can you caption that picture?
Yes, the official 2017-18 offensive team photo.
Nice.
Nice. That is good.
Nice. Will, caption that picture.
Starting to think those nano bubbles really don't help all that much.
Nice. Dustin, capture that picture.
Hey Russ, you should find some time to sleep in the off season. Maybe then you'll start showing up in the first half of games and be awake.
Ooh.
Ouch. Stoked it.
Oh. And here's mine. Hold on. You have to give me a second for mine. It's an audio. Wait for it, guys. Here's my caption picture right here.
I did my best, but I guess my best wasn't good enough.
There it is right there.
Gosh.
Mike, you got a caption for that picture?
Yes, I have two.
Oh, yes. Caption that picture.
All right, the first one is, I'm responsible for most of the team's rushing yards, 97% of our TDs. Guess I'll now have to learn how to kick field goals, too.
There you go.
How funny would that be if he trained doing that in the
Oh,
offseason?
that'd be so funny.
Hey, George Blanda did it, right?
No, yeah, right. And what's your other one?
All right, and the other one is, I knew I shouldn't have told Blair to call Scott Norwood for a pep talk.
Oh, yikes.
Who? Hey, wait a minute. Who called him? Who called Scott Norwood?
Blair Walsh!
Oh, yeah, there it is. Thank
Every
you,
ball
B.
you kick, pass the post to the left.
All right,
To be fair, he's diversifying. The last one he missed was wide right.
That's right.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
That's what I was saying. It's like, man, he was so focused on not kicking it wide left.
Yep.
It almost worked.
Yeah.
Hey, let's go to 2-minute warning, shall we?
Holy shit, it's a 2-minute warning.
Oh, 2-minute warning. We go over our posse prediction challenge for the last time.
Oh, dear.
Our scores.
Oh, Lord.
3 points to Mike for saying the Seahawks were going to score 24 points. And then you get a point also because you were the closest overall. You said 24-19. It was 24-26. That's pretty good. Yeah. Next to the prognostications, 3 points to Dustin. He got that return TD from Lockett.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Game ball, a point to Will for Jordan. A point to Little Mo for Clark.
Did I get a point for saying that the first half was going to be absolutely torrid?
Nah, too easy.
The over-under was over. A point to Tom, Little Mo, Mark Ty Turner, Mike, Will, Statsman Mark, and Moses, meaning the scores for that week went like this. Mike with 5, Dustin with 3, Will with 2, Little Mo with 2, Tom with 1, Mark Ty Turner 1, Statsman Mark 1, Moses 1, and here we go. The final scores individually overall. In 10th place was Matt with 18.
Yep.
In 9th place
and the Cleveland Browns.
Just a point ahead of him was Tom at 9th place with 19. 8th place, Mark Ty Turner with 22. 7th, Little Mo with 24. 6th, Dustin with 27. 5th, Statsman Mark with 28. 4th, me, Moses with 29.
Nice.
And then you draw a line right there because that's pretty much at that point, it's just a 3-man game. Will in 3rd place with 36. Wow. Jose in 2nd with 38. And Mike Pascal is the champion with 48 points. Mike.
Whoa.
Damn.
Congratulations.
Wow. I'll have to draw myself a buzz sketch then. And
You will. You have to present yourself your own award. And of course, there's also the team award. It was close there for a long time.
It was.
It was back and forth. It was, and then
Not so much anymore.
And then it reverted.
We just lost. We lost the rope, guys. The final score: Team 12 151, Team Posse 138. Yes, again. Team
I won the
12 twice in a row, kicking us in the booty.
Well, wait a minute. I teased us up to plus 14, so I believe that number.
Teased up.
Nice.
5 field goals would have made up the difference.
That's right.
So it's Blair Walsh's fault.
We've got to be careful with these Team 12s because very soon they're going
Whose
to
fault,
have
Dustin?
Blair Walsh.
I'm going to tell you right now. I don't care what happened. I'm keeping the team intact. I'm not making any changes. I'm staying loyal.
I was gonna say you're gonna have an argument of who's got the most claim to the legacy of Team 12.
It's Jose. It's Mike. It's
Not me.
Jose,
Not
it's
me.
Mike. Oh my God! All right. Hey, that's halftime.
Holy shit, it's halftime.
All right. I mean,
That's not. That's a 2-minute warning.
Yeah, that's really not
that was
halftime.
2-minute wait. Hey, we're coming up to halftime, and coming up so much more show, maybe, including a halftime. Hey, was there a lesson learned this season? Can the Seahawks rebound next season? Can anybody kick a field goal? Yes, all these answers and so much more just around the corner. But first, another award-winning edition of 12-Man Fan Jam Show Halftime Trivia. Coming up next!
Hi, I'm Rosette, and you're listening to the 12-Man Fan Jam Show.
Yes, it's halftime, and welcome to another fun-filled edition of the best play-along Seahawk-themed trivia game show on the internet. It's time for 12-Man Fan Jam Show Halftime Trivia. And here's your host, the self-appointed Reverend Moses of the St. Paul Island Church of Seahawk Positivity. Yes, thank you, Mia. Welcome to another edition of 12-Man Fan Jam Show Halftime Trivia.
Of the world.
The trivia game that tests the knowledge of both our posse and our listeners. Our contestants are the posse themselves: Will, Dustin, Statsman Mark, Mike, Pascal, and Matt. And here are the rules. So here's how the trivia game works. There'll be 2 rounds of questions. Each contestant answers 1 question each round. If they get it correct, they get 1 point. After 2 rounds of questions, there'll be a final trivia question worth 2 points. If there's a tie after that, then the tie players go on to a special secret overtime question where the winner becomes reigning 12-man Fan Jam Show trivia champion and also gets a prize chosen especially for them. As an added bonus to those listening on the Seahawk Positivity YouTube channel, the questions and possible answers will be displayed on your screen so you, the viewer and listener, can play along as well. If you do, please let us know how you did on the questions. Remember, there's no Googling, no phone a friend, and please, no wagering. However, there is a lifeline. Now let's get ready to play 12-Man Fan Jam Show Halftime Trivia. All right, gentlemen, you know the rules. Here is the, for tonight, once in the 2 rounds, you can ask me to remove a wrong answer. So you can ask me to remove a wrong answer in one of the 2 rounds. Your topic is, well, the 2017 NFL season and 2017. So get excited by that. We will go with Mark. Mark, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Number 3.
Mark is number 3. Dustin?
Yeah.
1, 2, 4, 5.
5.
5. And Will? 1, 2,
I
4.
was hoping to go into my Johnny 5 routine, but I'll take 1 instead.
Will will take 1 instead. Matt, 2 or 4?
2, please.
2. All right. All right, gentlemen, here you go. Hang on tight, because it's about to get messy. All right.
That's what she... Never mind.
No.
All right.
No.
Will, your first question is about the season, the 2017 NFL season.
Appropriately enough.
Yeah. How many times this season was Russell Wilson the leading rusher, not on the team, but for the entire game? So it would be both teams. He was the leading rusher in the entire game. Was it once, twice, or 3 times? How many times was he the leading rusher for the entire game?
I'm going to say once, twice, 3 times the leader.
3 times the leader.
So I'll go 3.
You're going 3 for 3? All right. You are going number 3. It was 2 against Washington and against Atlanta. So
Alrighty.
that's all right. Matt, you also have an NFL question.
Okay.
And your NFL question is this. How many times this season was Russell Wilson the leading passer in yardage for the entire game? So he would be the leading passer in yardage for our team and their team. 9, 10, or 11 times out of 16.
Wow.
That's pretty amazing.
Wow.
Who'd have thought that'd be the case?
Exactly. I'll go 9, though.
He'll go 9, though. All right. He will go 9. And the answer is... It's 11. Can you believe it?
Wow.
11
Nice.
times
Holy
he was the
shit.
leading passer in the
Amazing.
game. That just, man, that again shows why, people shouldn't laugh when we say MVP. But anyway. All right, Mark.
Yes.
Mark, you ready? Your question is about the year 2017.
But first I was waiting for you to ask me how many miles did Russell have to run to achieve
I know.
the leading passer for both.
I will tell you right now.
That's probably the last question. We have to know that one.
I'm going to tell you right now, after hearing this question, you're going to wish that was the case. Mark,
Okay.
here's your question about 2017.
How many tokens did I spend? Sorry. Go ahead.
What were Prince Harry and Meghan Markle making for dinner the night they were engaged?
Oh, God, even I know this.
What were Prince Harry and Meghan Markle making for dinner the night they were engaged? Did they make fish and chips? Did they make roasted chicken? Or did they make shepherd's pie? What did Prince Harry and Meghan Markle make for dinner the night they were engaged? Fish and chips, roasted chicken, or shepherd's pie? Dance!
Oh boy, Matt. I
know.
Instead of the kid, now Matt knows because
You
he
can't ask
prepared
him.
it and he served it to these people.
I have my own butler. What are you talking about?
No, I'm. Let's see. I'll know pretty quickly here. I'm going to go the final option.
You're going shepherd's pie?
Yes.
You know what the hell that is?
Sort of.
They say it's edible. I don't really believe that.
It sounds pretty freaking gross.
Apparently, it's not good for your
Amazing.
Is it? What is it,
Amazing.
man? Tell us.
Well, it's minced lamb and potato, basically.
It's what?
Minced lamb and potato.
Minced lamb. Why would you have to mince lamb?
Well, because you can't put a whole lamb in a pot and cover it with potato. You got to mince it, otherwise it's just a sheep in a tin.
Oh, man.
I don't know.
Dude,
That would
bloody
be
Americans.
bad.
Hey, you said
Do you imagine what
shepherd's
cottage
pie.
pie is?
Is he right, Matt?
No, it's roast chicken.
It's roast chicken, yeah.
Because he's a breast man.
Sorry, it's roast chicken. Question 4 is Mike's. Your question is also not a football question, so you're gonna love this. This one should have gone to Dustin because according to Google, or if you're Dustin, according to the Google, what was the most Googled item in 2017? Was it Hurricane Irma, Matt Lauer, or Harvey Weinstein? What was the most Googled item in 2017 according to Google? Hurricane Irma, Matt Lauer, or Harvey Weinstein?
Well, it might have changed, but I actually remember hearing this on TV, and I'm going to say Hurricane Irma.
Oh, it might have changed, but you heard.
Final answer.
You heard. Final, final answer. Yes!
Yep.
Yes!
Hurricane Irma, and he's back in on the board. All right, Dustin.
I'm surprised it wasn't that dude that Matt was talking about from Big Brother earlier.
Yeah, let's not go back into that. Hey, Dustin, we had a lot of penalties this year, didn't we? We had a lot of penalties this year, didn't we?
Me personally, no. Fetty sure did, though.
Yeah.
Fetty did. Well, here's what I want to know. Who was the least penalized team in the NFL this season? Was it Baltimore, Carolina, or Tennessee? They're 1, 2, and 3, by the way. The least penalized team in the NFL, Baltimore, Carolina, or Tennessee?
Wow.
I'll say Baltimore, because the refs probably care about them about as much as I do.
So you're saying Baltimore?
Yeah, they didn't pay attention to the game, so yeah.
Neither did you.
It's
Carolina.
Carolina. I knew that because my
Carolina
sister was going on about it the other
Tennessee
day.
at 85, Baltimore at 91. All right. Wow.
Bullshit.
Mike.
Yes, sir.
6, 7, 8, 9, or 10.
Lucky 7, baby.
Mark. 6, 8, 9, or 10.
He's so Hollywood, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will go 9.
9. Dustin.
10.
10. Will?
What's
6
left?
or 8?
Oh, I'll do 8.
All right. That brings Matt to the forefront. All right, Matt.
Oh, yeah.
Your question is not a football question. Here we go.
Oh, shit.
According to Apple's annual list of the most downloaded free iTunes apps of the year, what was the most downloaded Apple app in 2017? Was it Bitmoji, Snapchat, or YouTube?
Virtual Shepherd Pie.
Ooh.
Virtual Shepherd Pie.
Well, what did you say we could ask the kids?
No, but you can take one away.
Oh. Okay, well, we'll take one away.
Okay, we'll take away YouTube. So it's either Bitmoji or Snapchat as the most downloaded Apple app in 2017.
Probably Snapchat.
You go Snapchat?
Yeah.
Are you on the Snapchat? Do you do the Snapchat?
No, I don't. That's the most dangerous social media there is. Don't do it, folks.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, don't worry about it. Because it was Bitmoji.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, Bitmoji. Wow. I know. That's
What
weird.
is Bitmoji?
It's your little character of yourself.
Then
It turns you into
online,
an
Why would I want
then
that?
the Russians, then the
Turns you
Russians
into
can hack your
Bitmoji,
phone. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know what that was either. I thought it was the little smiley faces and stuff you could put
No,
on there.
no, that's emoji. Bitmoji is yourself. Like, you make your own little guy, and yeah.
Upload
All
it.
right.
I'm bad enough in person. I don't need an
Yeah.
emoji of myself.
Yeah. No.
Aww.
Mine's
Baby me.
much more handsomer than I am. Hey, Mike.
Yes, sir.
Well, I'm sure you'll get this one. This is easy. What TV remake did not happen in 2017? Which TV remake did not happen in 2017? One Day at a Time, Roseanne, or Twin Peaks? Which one did not happen? One Day at a Time,
Prince.
Roseanne, or Twin Peaks?
Take away one of the answers, please.
Okay. I'm going to take away Twin Peaks. It's either One Day at a Time or Roseanne.
I knew that. I'm going to say Man.
Which one did not happen?
Well, I haven't seen anything on Roseanne. I heard they were going to, but it hasn't shown up yet. So I'm going to go with Roseanne.
You're going to go with Roseanne. He says Roseanne. Yes! Yeah, 2018 for Roseanne. Mike is 2 for 2.
Oh, my
March.
television.
It's in March.
Yeah.
I would also like to put on the record that the Fresh Prince did not happen, and that was supposed to. I was disappointed.
Will Smith is old enough to play Uncle Phil now.
Yeah. He's not fat enough, though.
No. Hey, Will.
Yes, sir.
How many times this season did Russell Wilson not throw an interception in a game? How many times did he have no interceptions? 9, 10, or 11? Again, a little shocking.
Take
How
a
many
wrong
times
answer
did
out.
Russell not throw an interception? 9, 10, or 11?
Take an answer, please.
We're going to take 10 away. It's either 9 or 11.
Seemed like he was throwing a fair number of interceptions, so unfortunately I'm going to have to go 9.
Going to have to go 9, unfortunately. Well, unfortunately, you went with 9. That's the right answer! Will's on the board.
I wish it had been 11. Oh, well.
Mark.
Yes.
This is a football question.
Oh,
How many times this year was Doug Baldwin the leading receiver in yardage for the entire game? So same thing, the entire game, he was the leading receiver. Is that 2, 3, or 4 times? How often was Doug Baldwin the leading receiver in yardage? 2, 3, or 4 times?
For both.
Yeah. For the whole game.
Wow.
The whole schlamazel.
Let's see.
The whole burrito.
Does the first half count?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna go 2.
He's gonna go 2. He's gonna go 2. Should have gone 4. At Tennessee, at the Giants, home against Washington, and home against Arizona. He was the leading receiver for both teams. So, comes down to Dustin. Dustin.
Yeah.
All right. Yours is
Caption
also...
that picture?
Caption that picture, yes. What college did... No. Where did the Seahawks finish the NFL in third down conversion percentage for 2017?
Oh, I knew the answer. I was going to say in Seattle.
Were they 17th, 19th, or 21st in third down conversion?
Oh, they were
the
not
NFL?
good. I'll say 21st.
He's saying 21st. They were not. They were not.
Definitely
good.
went down after that last game.
Yeah, he's going 21st, and he is right. 21st in the NFL third down conversion. I don't know why they're clapping. That's nothing to clap at. But all right, guys, you know what it means.
Yes.
It's time for the final question. All right, here's how it works. Final question is, of course, a number. Highest, the closest without going over gets the 2 points. And if everybody's over, whoever's the closest gets the 2 points. If there is a tie, which is possible, that'd be a tie, then we'll have an overtime question between the people that are tied. All right?
All right.
Here we go. Our order is going to be the following. Mark, Matt, Will, Dustin, Mike. All right? Here we go, guys. It's a little math for you too, Dustin, so get ready.
Damn it. Dennis.
Fire up the Google.
Yes? Yes, Dustin?
No, I said damn it, Dennis.
Oh, damn it. I thought you used to get my attention. All right. Hey,
No.
it's this. Comparing the penalty yardage the Seahawks had this season in comparison to last season, how many more yards and penalties did they have this year as compared to last year?
Wow.
How many more yards and penalties did they have this year than last year?
Wow.
And we're starting with Mark.
Okay, so, jeez, I mean...
How many more yards this year did they get penalized than last year?
I'm gonna say 350.
Mark's gonna say 350. Matt.
351. There's so many people. There's so many people about to come past us anyway.
Will?
Hmm.
I just want to say this. I don't want to convince you one way or the other, but if you say 352, you are my hero. No, I'm kidding. I'm just teasing. How many more yards this year than last year? 350 and 351's on the board.
I'll go 187.
He's going to go 187. Oh.
Wide open now.
Dustin?
What?
187, 350, 351. How many more yards this year than last year?
That's a damn good question. I'd like to take an answer away. I'll choose Matt.
351 in it now.
All right, I don't know. I'll say 217.
I'll say 217. All right, Mike. Here's what you got. How many more yards this year did they get penalized than last year? So far, our answers are 187, 217, 350, and 351.
I'll go with 218.
218. Well,
He's a bad man.
I learned it from Maddie.
If you subtract the yardage this year, or large yardage penalties last year to this year, the answer is they had 292 more yards, which means our guest.
Oh, man.
Oh.
Who's paranoid? A little Sabbath for you, Mike Pascal. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Don't worry, it doesn't count anyone. It's off season
Man,
now.
he's
I
having a
know
good
you're all
night.
against me.
I know you're all against me.
Doesn't count. It's off season now.
Yep.
There's no trophies, I'm afraid.
Oh my
Hey, don't
goodness.
snow on my parade there.
Basically
Maddie.
a Pro Bowl. Nobody cares.
Ow.
At least it's warm.
Oh, that hurt me. Oh,
Don't
my
snowball the parade.
God. All right.
I hope
Well-
Mark bet on me.
All right.
Well, I definitely don't bet
Mark
on
bets on
myself.
everyone. Apart from himself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
He lost a load of money last week.
Oh, what another crowd-pleasing, heart-stopping, award-winning edition of 12-Man Fan Jam Show Halftime Trivia.
Which doesn't count.
Other world.
Other world.
Which doesn't count.
We'll be back for the second half of the show, maybe. In just a moment, you're watching and listening to the 12-Man Fan Jam Show. Why not? Black Sabbath, take us out.
You're listening to the 12-Man Fan Jam Show on the Seahawk Positivity YouTube channel.
Straight up now, shoot me.
Holy shit, it's the third quarter.
Yes, welcome to the third quarter of your 12-Man Fan Jam Show. Hey, you! Yes, you. Sitting around all depressed because the playoffs are on and your team isn't there. Cheer up! Like, share, subscribe to the Seahawk Positivity YouTube channel. A lot of outtakes are coming, believe me.
It's been that kind of show.
Because we're that bad.
That many from this show in itself. Join our Facebook group, 12-Man Fan Jam Show, in the off-season, seriously, between now and our next show. Our finale will be at the weekend after the Super Bowl. I will be throwing in some outtakes, so get ready for that. Join our Facebook group, 12-Man Fan Jam Show. You'll see those there. Do it now and make us part of your off-season Seahawk fix. All right. So like I said, our next episode will be our 5th season finale. And in our finale, we always give our season-ending awards. So in this period, we're going to take a gander at who we have nominated for the 5th annual 12-Man Fan Jam Show Awards, or the Fan Jammies, as we like to call them. In a moment, we will reveal those nominations, but before we do, we want to remind you how you, the listener, can vote for these awards as well. There's a lot of ways to do this. The awards will be posted on the 12-Man Fan Jam Show Facebook page. Find that thread that says Vote Here. I'll have all the nominees listed probably by the middle of this week, and you can leave your vote under each list of nominees if you'd like. You can email us at 12manfanjamshow@gmail.com with your vote. You can find us on Twitter and tell us your vote. You can leave your votes in the comments under the YouTube video or under wherever you find this video. All right, here are the nominees for the 5th annual Fan Jam 12-Man Fan Jam Show Awards. First, Offensive Player of the Year, and that's a slam dunk, but I had to have nominations. Doug Baldwin had a fantastic year. Jimmy Graham caught 10 touchdowns, and Russell Wilson, Russell Wilson. I'm not sure if I'm missing anybody, guys, or if you want to share, Mike, who you would probably vote for.
That's the whole team.
Yeah. Well, 82% of the offense?
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I got to go with Russ.
Yeah.
Well, we are missing Blair. Oh, sorry.
Who? Who are we missing?
Nothing. That's if our kicker had a Native American name, it would be missing Blair, right?
Yeah.
What's his name? What's our kicker's name? What was our kicker's name this season?
Blair Walsh.
Has to happen.
Well, he did have an impact. There's no denying that.
Just not in the same stadium as what he was kicking in. Yeah.
Yeah. Russell Wilson. Mark. Russell Wilson.
Yes.
Yeah. Will. Russell.
You know what? The Russians could hack this vote. It'll still be Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Too true.
I'm gonna go with Fetty.
You're just doing that to piss me off, and it's working.
Definitely Russell.
Yeah. Matt?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, okay, Defensive Player of the Year. Again, pretty much a slam dunk probably, but I put Frank Clark because I thought Frank Clark had a really great season.
Mm-hmm.
I put Earl Thomas, and I put Bobby Wagner. I don't know who doesn't vote for Bobby. Dustin?
I'm going to go Bobby.
See, now there's where you should have gone to Fetty.
No doubt.
I was waiting for it, too.
Yeah, I know, right? Mike?
Even with the roughing the passer, I'll still give it to Bobby. He played balls out.
Yeah, well, he did. Matt, did you notice that?
Whoa!
Wow, that's got to be embarrassing.
Matt had to mute his mic, so that was a good one.
I love it. Bill!
Spell run.
Are you in? Will!
I gotta go for Bobby Wagner because he saw how bad things were when his hammy was blown. So yeah,
I think so. Zorny?
Yep, same old.
Well, and
Love
the
it.
thing is, Matt, who are you gonna vote for?
I'm gonna go with Earl Thomas just because he managed to not get blokes' balls out.
I thought you were saying because he blew his hammy.
Oh.
Whoa!
But he had to have ribs taken out to do that. But everything else, it was fine.
Bobby Wagner, by the way, congratulations. First team all pro middle linebacker. Third year out of 4, I think, or third year in a row or something weird.
Third year out of 4, yep.
Yeah, third year out of 4.
Wow.
That's just
Well
spectacular.
deserved.
Well deserved.
Also
all
deserves NFL Defensive Player of the Year, but they won't give it to him.
No, I agree. Okay. Now comes, speaking of playing balls out, score of the year. I put Wilson's 26-yard run against the Colts just because he had audio on and he said the F word, which I thought was really cool.
No, he did.
He did.
He did.
Yeah.
Listen to it again. He just says, There's no F
come
sound.
on, man.
I'm sorry.
Come on, man.
Come on.
There's Graham's game-winning catch against the Texans, which is in here not just for the catch, but for the celebration at the end, because watching Russell Wilson play the air flute is like spectacular.
Yeah.
And then I put Graham's 3-yard catch against the Cardinals because that's the one where he was like on the ground and he held the ball over his head. Like he was a big bully, like you can't have the ball, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then Coleman's interception return at the Cowboys. Does anybody have a score that they thought of besides those?
I like Lockett's.
I like Tyler Lockett's.
Yeah, I like Lockett's.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it's nice to see that.
Okay.
And I actually would like to stick with the Colts game. They go with J.D. McKissick's touchdown run, not only because it was an awesome run, but it was the only touchdown by a running back this year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a terrible stat, but great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we can
Way
change
to bring
this.
the mood down again, Will.
Well, that's what I'm here for,
Thanks,
guys. I'm
Will.
sorry.
Nicely done, guys. We'll change those.
I am the Eeyore of the group, so.
I think we'll put McKissick in for Wilson, and I think we'll put Lockett in for the Graham Cardinal catch.
You call him donkey.
Yeah.
He's an ass.
That's good. Okay, well, I was trying to get him out. I'll be honest with you, not to discredit Lockett's run, but I tried to get him out of winning games, too, so that's another thing.
Yeah, that's true.
But that's all right. I'll put Lockett in. I think that was fun. I loved... It's too late because they've done all these compilations of the celebrations this year, and I loved the picture where they're posing for a picture and Blitz is taking their picture. That's just, to me, like maybe one of my favorite Seahawk moments of all time. That was just spectacular. But and that came after there too. But all right, game of the year. Here's what I have. I have the Seahawks over the Colts. It's personal. But also, but it's also 46-18, so it's kind of a good score.
The Colts TP your house or something,
Texans,
man? What happened?
I'll talk about that fourth quarter. Texans, the Seahawks over the Texans 41-38. What a game that was. Maybe the best Seahawks complete game, beating the Eagles 24-10. And then I had the Seahawks beating the Cowboys because, again, it's just fun to see the Cowboys lose. And that cost the Cowboys the playoffs at the time, which is pretty cool. Am I missing anything there? Any game that you thought might be on there as well?
No.
I think those are pretty good. I would probably vote for the Texan game. Is somebody vote for a different one?
I'd go Eagles game myself just because, I mean, you don't have the huge score, but it was just the kind of game that they were trying to get all year, and we finally had it.
It was like the most complete game of the year. Yeah, I agree with you.
For me, it's a close thing between Houston and Dallas, only because watching Jerry Jones get up out of his seat and storm out and go open up the glory hole early, and it was all everything was great about that game. But no, I'll still go Houston. It was great fun to watch their young quarterback also play a really good game of football too.
And in their house on top of everything else, it was their place. That was nice. Yeah, I agree with that. So, once again, to recap, these awards will be on the 12-Man Fan Jam Show Facebook page within the next week or so. So we'll say between now and the 10th of January, start looking for those. We will have another show the weekend after the Super Bowl. That'll be our season finale, and that's when we will give out the awards. So if you want to vote for them, we do encourage that. Vote, please vote. We would love to have that. And that is the third quarter.
It's the end of the third quarter, bitches.
All right, coming up next, we close this regular season ending edition of this program by telling you our favorite memory from the 2017 season. You're listening to 12-Man Fan Jam Show. Never miss into the left. We'll be right back after this.
You're listening to the 12-Man Fan Jam Show on the Seahawk Positivity YouTube channel.
Nobody cares.
Holy shit, it's the fourth quarter.
Oh yes, it's time for the fourth and final quarter of this episode of the 12-Man Fan Jam Show. Oh, Matt's going to miss that.
Yeah, I am.
We all... Yeah. No, we won't.
No, you won't. Hey, in this quarter, we are going to wrap up the 2017 Seattle Seahawks football season, and we're going to discuss our favorite moment. But before we do that, I'm asking everybody to do me a favor. We'll roundtable this. Use one word to describe the 2017 Seattle Seahawks football season. Dustin, one word to describe the season.
I will say absquatulate.
What?
I'm sorry, what?
Well, you did say in your own words, and you just made one up.
It means to leave somewhere abruptly, Dennis, and they did that with the playoffs.
Are you on Google again?
I looked up weird words just now, yeah.
I think he's on lithium.
Well, he did use it in a sentence.
Yep.
It's a word on Google.
Absquatulate?
And it means to leave abruptly.
How do you spell that?
I'm looking it up.
I don't.
Quatulate. Absquatulate, just like you think you would.
It's not in the dictionary I have.
It is.
Is it an American dictionary?
Yeah.
It's a North American to leave abruptly. You're killing me. Okay, well, it's first. Dustin, that is like maybe one of the coolest things you've ever said. And the kids are going to appreciate it. Squadlate, kids.
I'm looking it up in the Oxford.
All right.
Wow. I'm impressed. Of all people. Okay.
I know.
Well, Mike, while you're looking, can you give us the word?
My word, and no, I'm not going to say the B word. I'm going to say dangerous.
Dangerous. All right.
R-U-S-S.
Is that on the Oxford?
Yeah, and that
actually it is.
Yeah.
Oh, good deal.
It's in the Hawksford.
And by the way, the word is absquatulate with an E on the end.
Absquatulate, yeah. Absquatulate.
Okay.
Right.
Gotcha. Very good.
Yeah, Matt.
Flocky Nocky me Hillification.
Okay, stop that and tell me what your word is.
That is the word. It's the act of estimating something as worthless, and this season was worthless.
Oh, wow.
All right, what was that word again?
Blocky Nocky Mihilifilification.
Gesundheit.
FLOCCINIHILIPILIFICATION.
MOUSE.
Oh my god. That's like a British speaking spell.
That's awesome.
Wait, let me write down. Note to self: never ask for a one-word answer again.
Because you're
right.
working with douches.
Yeah.
Well, you're all getting your paychecks. Okay, and then oh god, Will.
Bad.
Well, unlike Dustin and Matt, I don't get paid by the letter, so I'm just gonna go with surreal.
Yeah.
Because this was a really weird flippin' season, and every time I thought I figured out what was going on, something weird happened. So I'm gonna go with surreal.
Wow. Mark.
Ludicrous. No,
Ludicrous.
Like
Yeah.
Cocoa Crisp?
Yeah, I mean, there's to me, it really will. It'll be literally protesting. That's the word for this. Just politics ruined the season, I think. So,
Right.
I don't know.
Oh my god.
You feel good?
Well, Maddie just sent me the word, and it's okay. We'll put that down for later. I guess it's my turn. And my word was going to be affetti, but I guess really.
Hey, keep
Confetti?
it PG-13 rated, Moses.
Affetti.
Confetti, like a celebration paper.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just
Like
this
your
season where you
yellow
felt this team-
flags failing
you
from the
felt this
sky.
team going in was going to be record-wise a lot better than they were. That's all I'm saying. I just underachieving a little bit maybe. All right, but now let's brighten this and finish this on a high note. I hope. Dustin, what's your favorite memory from the 2017 season?
That's definitely Lockett's touchdown there in the Arizona game, because I was hoping he would do that. That dude, that was a horrific injury he had the year before,
Yeah.
and he'd been getting crap all year. Well, not crap really, but everybody had been like, well, maybe he lost a step, maybe he's not
Just
the
wasn't.
same
Yeah.
returner he was because of that injury, and then he went out and did it. So
That's
my
great.
favorite memory.
And the celebration was just one of the best things ever. That whole thing, like I said, Blitz taking a picture was fantastic.
Yeah.
Mike, what was your favorite memory from 2017?
Oh man, I'd have to say probably the end of the Houston game.
Yeah.
When that sealed that deal, I just didn't think that that game would ever end, and it just whoever was going to score last was going to win, and I was exhausted, and it was a great feeling.
What a fun game, and I wasn't even mad watching Watson do what he did. That young man, I sure hope he comes back 100%, because we as an NFL league are going to miss out on something if Deshaun Watson does not come back, because he's just fantastic. I was so happy for him, and then
agreed.
So best wishes to him for sure. Will, your favorite memory?
Well, Moses, I go to a lot of games with my dad every year, and this time I went to 4 games with him.
Oh, cool.
And the first game was at Green Bay, which is an amazing trip, but we lost.
Yeah.
And I also took him to the Cardinals game, which we lost. Yeah. And he came with me to the Rams game. Less said about that, the better. However, the 4th game he came to makes up for all the others, because it was the Texans game. So not only got to witness a truly epic game that I would have loved to have watched even if the Seahawks weren't playing in it. It was just that good.
Right.
But I'm just glad Dad was there for it. So
that's awesome.
We are too. That's a great memory, Will. Fantastic. Mark?
Yeah, actually, it's a Houston theme, because that game was one of the few season highlights where that game was fun to watch. That was like old NFL before all this other stuff began to happen.
And that was AFL.
Yeah, I mean, it was fun to watch. And then an honorable mention though to Moses' main guy, Jimmy Graham, because he probably I imagine isn't coming back. Maybe that seems to be the word with money and everything. But that guy, talk about coming back from an injury and doing everything you could and achieving 10 receiving touchdowns on this kind of team. And I mean, Russell had a great year with the throwing, but still, that guy, any doubts or any whatever I had about him before, I mean, he proved above and beyond, his integrity. So
it just seems like an incredible team player too. Like he gets down there and he wants the whole team to do well. Because like on his Twitter, I remember one of the happiest times I've ever seen him on Twitter was when Vanette caught his first touchdown. And it was a picture of Vanette catching the touchdown, and Jimmy Graham was on the field in the end zone wide open. But you know what Jimmy's headline was? I'm so happy and blessed to be on the field when Vanette caught his first touchdown. He didn't even say I was open or whatever. Yeah. It was all about Vanette. He was like so happy that he was on the field that Vanette caught his first touchdown. I thought, wow, what a nice thing to say.
That's class.
Yeah.
Des Bryant would have been like, man, screw Vanette, I was open.
right.
And then he would have dropped it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey Matt, what's your favorite?
Oh, there's so many. I mean, mine was weird. I suppose because this season was so poor, I've sort of thought about other parts around the NFL, so not just Seattle. Sure. I think some of the things that I've seen this season that I thought were worth mentioning was things like Tony Romo commenting on the quality of a cat running in the Dolphins-Ravens game. And if you've not seen that, go and watch it on YouTube. It's the funniest thing ever because it's the best commentary he's ever given, and it's not even about football. I think the Jet Raiders game when Marshawn was dancing during the timeout, that's just a brilliant moment. Again, go and have a look at that. I love the Lattimore butt fumble in the Falcons Saints game. I thought that was just one of those quirky moments that only football can provide.
Butt interception.
It was the butt interception, not the butt fumble. The other butt fumble was Sanchez. But my actual moment that I'm going to pick is actually Chargers kicker Drew Kaiser doing a Walsh and missing his own practice net. Because that sums up the whole of the season to me.
Awesome.
And the things that happened, and I was watching that, and when it happened, I was like, he actually missed his own, and it's less than 2 feet away, and you've actually missed it. And then you've got his coaches standing there thinking, yeah, we'll send him out. He'll be fine. Straight out.
How's he doing? Oh, nothing. No problem.
Everything's fine. Everything's fine.
That's like a Naked Gun meets the NFL. That's a great football movie.
Nothing to see here.
Great moments.
Awesome. So that's my moment.
Awesome. Mine was personal. When the schedule came out, I circled one game and I said, please God, if they go 1-15, I cannot live where I live and put up with another 4 years of hearing how, we beat you guys. So for all my Colt friend fans who I say, look, when the Seahawks aren't playing, I got your back, guys, because they are diehard, and they are, even now, the team's struggling. They're still there for them, and I support them, and they support me as well. But that one game that Jacob, little Mo, who he wears Seahawks stuff just about every day, and, he's surrounded by Colt fans, and I'm surrounded by Colt fans. I'm like, please, God, please, give us this game. And then at halftime, they're behind. And little Mo looks across to me with this look like there's no Santa Claus, and he goes, are we going to lose to the Colts? And I'm like, oh, dear, I hope not. And in my head, I'm thinking, he and I are taking the day off tomorrow because we're not going to school if we get put up with all the trash talk. So for me, without a doubt, it was personal, and it was a bad Colts team that they thrashed. But thrashing the Colts was my favorite memory of this year because it gave me 4 more years of people getting off my back. So...
Dennis, you got to remember if next time the Colt or whoever gives you flack for, the Seahawks, just tell them that Russell Wilson was flipping change to neckbeard and broken arrow on his way into the 5-star restaurant. The 2 other guys from his class. So.
Yes. All right, so they were the same face for that game. Well, speaking of save face, it looks like it's time to bring another wonderful and amazing 12-man Fan Jam show to a sad close. We are so glad.
Sorry, I'm picturing Luck and RG3, neither one of which will end up this way, but as homeless guys, just hovering together. I'm sorry.
That's thought.
Yes.
Nice visual again. Hey, we're glad you decided to waste some time with us this season. And we have one more show, so the finale's not over yet, but we're glad you're here. We hope you laughed a little and you learned a little something. What did we learn on this show? Too much to mention. We learned that Mark One trivia because of Make-A-Wish Foundation. We learned Dustin knows big words. Mike is not flushing. Will doesn't get paid by the letter. And Matt also found Google. And I am never going to ask for a one-word answer from this group ever
again.
So, lesson learned. Mike Pascal, thanks so much for joining us, my friend. Always a pleasure.
My pleasure. Thank you, guys. Great talking to you guys.
Yeah, on behalf of my partner in crime, Matt, our Newsound Shadowhawk, Will, Statsman Mark, Dustin as the Beaver, Mike Pascal, Roger Goodell, Mosek, Little Mo, Sheila McRae, and Art Carney. Good night, everybody. Go Hawks.
Go
Hawks.
I got a whole nother set of outtakes for this one show.